SAP EWM stock upload, step-by-step walkthrough. So a lot of you ask me, how do you actually do it? Can you show us in the system? It would be great to see you clicking through and doing an actual stock upload. And here I am. I'm gonna prepare some stock in an Excel file to be uploaded in the SAP EWM system and therefore generate stock and an EWM warehouse number. First and foremost, before you always do a process in a system, before you do anything else, it needs to be clear what is the business process, what are we doing, what is the context, what are we actually showing, so that it's easier to understand when I'm showing the system, what's the right context where you can use it, how you're going to expect to use it, who might be doing this activity. So I want you to imagine being an EWM Junior Consultant. You just landed on a project and you still have a lot to learn. You got some basics of EWM, but definitely you have a long way ahead. And your boss comes to you and says, hey, Milos, so it's gonna be me this time. Hey, Milos, you really need to help us out. We have a warehouse EWM already set up. You just need to upload some stock for us. Can you do a stock upload and upload this specific material quantity in this specific bin? It would be really, really useful. So you get some information, you got a request from your boss, and you really have just the access to the system. You need to figure out how to do it. And your boss tells you, well, you can use the /SCWM/ISU transaction, initial stock upload, and you can use this template CSV file, comma separated file, to populate the stock data you need to upload. All right? So let's have a look at the system, and the first thing you're going to check is actually the file that your boss provided to you. Now, in my case, let's have a look at the system. In my case, I'm opening here and showing you this is a CSV file. It's called stock upload test 01, and my boss was so kind, it already has the right format, the right template in which I can just populate the stock data. So if you look at it, there's different columns, so let's select all the columns. I always like to double click so I can actually read what's in the column. So I select everything, I double click, so Excel is going to dynamically adjust the width of each column so I can actually read what's inside. And there's a bunch of not easy to understand descriptions like POSTYPE, MATNR, owner, cat, stock item, ITM and O, okay? There's a lot of stuff that is really hard to understand. The reason why it's hard to understand is because these are technical names of the individual fields that will be uploaded once I upload this file into EWM. So indeed, for anyone starting off, unless you already have knowledge of all these technical fields, it might be a bit confusing to see the file. So the first thing to say is, for example, some of the basic information. The MATNR is material number, so this is the actual material that we will be uploading the stock for. There's the owner of the material, the category, this is the EWM stock type, F2. We have the part entitled to dispose here, and here in QUAN we have the quantity, 100 pieces, the base unit of measure, and we have the bin where we will upload the stock. The bin is a 0015 03 1805. Okay, so basically my boss was so kind, this data is, by the way, correct. We will just use this data. I could definitely change it. I could add multiple lines and upload multiple lines of stock in one single upload, but we're just going to keep it easy just to begin with, and we're going to use this data to upload our stock in EWM. One more thing I want to say is that there's not all the columns are populated. As you can see, the doc number is empty. And other things to see, well, actually there's a lot of columns that are not populated. HU ident, so HU identification. There's other information, the weight I see here, there's volume. So there's a lot of information. If I don't give the weight and volume, in this case it's a material, it has the base unit of measure, the units of measure within the material master data, so it's going to take weight and volume based on the 100 pieces and the master data that is available directly in the system. But indeed, these additional information can be used depending especially on this POSTYPE position type. Now this position type, of course, someone who's starting out doesn't know, so you should have a better guidance or learn as you go. But this position type is identifying what type of line is this, because you can be uploading actual stock, which means quantity of a material, and indeed the position type 4 identifies the quantity of a material you want to upload. So this is the most basic stock upload. I'm literally uploading material quantity, but also it's possible to upload handling units that can be part of the stock, in the sense that a handling unit contains some stock inside. So handling units typically could be a pallet, could be a case, or a different container with a unique number, the handling unit number, that can contain some goods inside, some product. Also, we have lines that represent serial numbers, so you can have different position types representing different level of information. The more complex your stock upload, the more complex the structure will be. But again, there's a basic principle when you're learning things. You start simple. You make something work in an easiest way possible, and then once you know the basic of the basic, then you start complicating it and seeing how things work and what is the full potential of the functionality. All right, I talked enough about this file. So now that we know what we're uploading, a single line of stock for material TEW0101, it's going to be stock type F2. We need to check in the EWM system what that means. F is typically free, and 100 pieces of product in this bin. Now, if this is all set, first thing to check is, well, what's in this bin in the system right now? Can I upload something to this bin? Or maybe I want to change the bin. So let's have a look. I'm going to go to EWM, and I'm going to go to Logistics, EWM Monitoring. Monitor is here. Of course, I use my favorite transaction, the monitor, to check what is in the warehouse. By the way, the warehouse number is E100. That's the warehouse I will be using to upload the stock. And in the warehouse E100, I will go to stock and bin storage bin to search for, I will search for all the bins in storage type 0015. Was it 0015? I don't remember anymore. Yes, it was 0015, okay? So all the bins in storage type 0015, I want to see them all. And as I'm displaying all the bins, maybe I make the screen a little bit bigger for the data, and I see that there's no handling units, so number of handling units in this bin is 0, but I do see that there is some weight, 320 kilos here, 400 kilos here, 200 kilos here. So in these bins have something inside, and as I select the bin, click physical stock, I see that there's stock inside. This one has product EW5000, okay, 100 pieces. Stock type F2. And here, if I wanted to check what's F2, I see it's unrestricted use in plant SPCW storage location AF00. I'm not going to go in depth in that. We can have a separate video on stock types. But now I just want to check my bin. What's my bin? The bin I will be uploading stock into. It's 015, 0318, 05, 318, 5. Okay. I go back to my monitor. I think it's further down below. Yeah, it's here somewhere. 318.5. I found it. It's this bin, and as you can see, the weight is 0, and therefore if I select physical stock, I see that this bin is empty. This is great because I don't want to now complicate things. You remember, start simple. So first things first, I already see that this storage type has bins directly containing materials without handling units, so it's definitely possible to have direct product in the bin. That's a setup on the storage type, so this storage type should be okay to upload directly products inside. And I see this bin is empty, so I should have no problem uploading something inside. You also see empty indicator right here. Okay, so if that's okay, then let's go and try do our stock upload. Again, the transaction, so my boss told me /SCWM/ISU. I will show you now also the exact folder where this is. So if I go to Logistics, EWM. Now here it's tricky. I want to upload data, and actually the right folder is Interfaces, and in Interfaces there's Data Upload, and in Data Upload you have the ISU transaction stock data transfer. Okay, double click. Now here there's several fields. I'm not going to read all the fields, but I do want to show you that I'm going to upload stock in warehouse E100. The posting date is going to be the 9th of September 2024, And the number of handling units per posting is 50, so this is in case you have too many and it's too big of a shock for the system, cannot handle the performance, so you can upload in batches. It's not a problem, we have only one line and no handling units. This is the file name, so here I can select where on my local computer is the file that I'm uploading, and this is going to be the stock upload. It's already selected, you see stock upload test, so it's all good. And with this upload button I can upload the stock. Few more things. The field separator here is telling the system how are the different information, the different data within the file separated between each other. And we have a CSV file, so it's comma separated file. Therefore we should put a comma here, comma. And the other thing I want you to notice is that there's this flag, do not post data in ERP. In my previous video I told you it's possible to select whether you want, once you upload the stock in EWM, to directly have the upload as well in ERP or not. And typically you want to do both because you want the two to always be in sync. Okay, so do not post data in ERP is ticked. I actually want to post data in ERP, so I'm going to untick it. So we should see the posting in ERP as well. And okay, I think we're ready. So I'm going to try upload this file. I'm going to click upload. And as I click upload, the stock is not uploaded yet. What's uploaded is the file. So the transaction will check if the file format and data is correct and consistent, or if there's any issue. For example, there's text where it should be numbers and similar. Let's try, let's see if the file is good.